Stormy, Jacob, Mara, good morning. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Diego. Good morning, Larry.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Tis a beautiful Monday morning. Good morning, Diego. How's your workout?
Good. It was good. How's the
Okay.
day going?
Get the day going good. Start off on the right page, that's for sure. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Good morning, Adriana. Someone tell me some goodness over the weekend. What happened to you good this weekend? Tell me some wins.
Well, Friday afternoon, I went door knocking in the neighborhood. We just went under contract to try to find more sellers. I didn't have a lot of luck, but I'm like, I know, just got to keep doing it. Most people are like, I'm staying, or oh, it's too dangerous to try to sell. I can't find another place. Anyway. So, but
What was your response to somebody saying that dangerous is too hard to find somewhere to buy if I got to sell my house?
Well, the one guy had been there like 30 years, and he's like, oh yeah, I've looked at new builds and they're just so expensive. And I didn't have a lot of response for that.
You're right. They are expensive.
I kind of agreed. So I figured
compared to what you paid for your house.
I jot down, all the people that were really nice, I jot down as I go, and I'm, gonna follow up with a card or something. So
awesome.
At least I got out and did it. Haven't done door knocking in a while.
We're gonna actually go door knocking as a group tomorrow. What? Nicole, it must be you because
yeah, I said I had an awesome open house, as you know, and I felt good because I was like, why am I doing this here? Because it's so far away, and I was kind of like, what am I doing? And then I think it was successful, but it was really fun, and the people were so nice. So I kind of felt better and rejuvenated, and maybe I got a couple leads, we'll see. So I felt good about my time spent of 35 miles to get there. So yeah, that's all.
This is good news. I love the text you sent me yesterday. It says scripting helps. I asked the right questions. Weird.
Oh, it did. It totally did, because so I think this is the biggest takeaway for me, okay, is scripting can be hard and feel weird and all this stuff, right? But then the more you do it, you get more comfortable and you turn it into yourself. And all day yesterday, these 10 couples that came, I was comfortable the whole time. And I asked the right questions. And I got information, especially the last couple. You would be so proud of me, Dan. Like, they're looking at a $255,000 townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That's not what they even want, right? That's like why they were there. But like, I got all this information on a whole legal pad of everything that they wanted. I got their phone numbers. I got their best favorite way of communication. I almost got an appointment for next weekend, but they didn't solidify that. But like, I know what to look for to try to find them that dream home. They're not contingent. Like, to me, it was a smoke and win, because now I just need to find the house.
Hey, Nicole, I was gonna suggest, when I meet someone brand new like that I've never met, and I get all their information, I put them in command, and then put them on an 8x8.
Yeah, so I'm definitely very weak in command and doing that.
Well, it's really easy, and I'm sure if you come into the office, there'd be someone that'll help you, because it's really, really easy and free.
I know. I mean, I have some people in command. It's about following up, because I really want, this sounds bad, but I really want an app for command, because I do everything on my phone almost. And so yeah, I know I'm really bad with command, but I don't have their email. So this particular time for this couple yet, they said they wanted just live phone calls, which then that makes me outside my comfort zone, Dan, that I have to call them more. But ultimately, it was good.
You got to call them more. You got to ask for their phone number, their email address. And it's
Uh-huh.
a simple line. And how do we ask for email addresses?
I've got some information on a house that kind of matches what we talked about that I'd like to send to you. What email address is best to get it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's what I need to do today or tomorrow. But I need to
What
find
email
that house.
Say. Tom, I got some information I'd love to set you up with. What email should I send it to? It assumes that they're okay with you sending it, and just ask them, what email should I send it to? Great job, Nicole. Keep it up.
Now I need to sell some houses to actually have a win.
These are all movements in the right direction. I call it avalanche theory. Is how does an avalanche work?
Something small starts rolling downhill and takes other things with it.
Right? At a certain point on the mountaintop, a little bit of snow piles up on a little bit of snow and a little bit of snow until enough snow has piled up where a small chunk of it breaks off. A small chunk. Could be the size of an acorn, maybe a tennis ball. Maybe a ridge, you don't know. But a small chunk breaks off, and as it builds momentum down the mountain, it takes more and more snow with it, creating more and more energy, more and more momentum. Until after you know it, there is literally nothing that will stop it. No semi, no tree, no Yeti will stop a rolling avalanche. So as we're working in our real estate careers, we may feel like we're constantly shoveling snow. It's an asinine feeling. You're just doing the same things over and over and over again, not getting a whole lot of momentum. One day it breaks free. One day that avalanche breaks free, and then all of a sudden you are riding that wave of momentum well into your future. So don't forget that sometimes when you feel like you're just piling on snow, you don't know how close you are. So any other wins from this weekend? Any other greatnesses that we can share and talk about?
Yeah.
Go
You
ahead.
guys, Stormy?
Go ahead, Stormy. Go ahead, Stormy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, Larry. I was just gonna say that on that same note, Dan, that you were talking about, I didn't hold any buyer consultations like last week for about 8 days straight, and I've had 4 every single week for like 3 or 4 months, and I got down. But then at the end of the week, I was able to schedule like 5 for this week.
Nice.
I had a closing Friday, went under contract on Saturday, and then had another buyer consultation on Sunday. So like you can see like everything you do today is gonna, as long as you're doing enough, you'll see it in 30, 40, whatever day, however many days.
Now, you're 100% right, Stormy. The activities we do today pay us in the future. So even though it's not instant reward, these payouts could be 90 or 30, 60, 90, maybe even months in the future. Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank account over the years that have come from work that I have forgotten about, because out of the blue, I get a text message or an email or somebody calls me and says, hey, we're ready to sell our house, or hey, we're ready to buy a house. And it's only because I've done the work up front and I've done the slow drips over time that reminds them of it. So keep up. I love that, Stormy. Keep it up. Don't get down. If you got a couple of days or gaps in time, just keep working, keep plugging away.
And
Larry.
I call it planting seeds.
Yep.
I've planted seeds that came to fruition a year later. Yep, there you go. So what Dan is talking about there. So I do have a story to share. 3 weeks ago, I had an initial listing appointment with a client. I thought it went well. They had a lot of stuff in the house they needed to pull out, a lot of work they needed to do to get things just to the point where now you could look at it and go, okay, what do we do now to get the house set up to possibly sell? Hadn't heard much of anything from the client, wasn't sure where things were going. Out of the blue, the other day, phone rings. Hey, I'm going to be down again we're going to be down again this Sunday. Would you come back up and let's talk some more? This is a daughter of an elderly couple that unfortunately recently passed away. So, and the people that are with her, our family members, were all females except one. And part of what she wanted to talk about is what my opinion was on what furniture should stay, what should go, that kind of stuff, and help them make those kinds of decisions. But again, the environment that I was dealing with, and I'm not an interior decorator or anything like that, so I had a little bit of trepidation there. So I started thinking, okay, how can I make this next meeting a little stronger? And I made a phone call, and I enlisted the help of Kimmy Roberts, who is an agent that works with us, and some of you probably know her. And she was kind enough to come along on this second listing presentation and be able to address female to female and the other women that were there, the other family members, what's going on with the house. Long story short, that teamwork, she also brought Brian Carey with her for a third set of eyes, and that teamwork and that help ended up winning the deal yesterday. So we'll be listing a house at $1.1 million.
Boom.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That means that
Yes, it
Larry's
is.
got, in 2 deals, almost $3 million in real estate. Just saying.
Yeah, the
Just
Binzer.
saying.
Yeah, I'm at Binzer on the $1.85 million home. That's very clean. That's going to be very easy. And then this listing on 1.1 million.
There you
Oh,
go.
and tagged onto that was also the piece of land that the father was going to sell before, unfortunately, the COVID thing got both him and his wife. I got the piece of land as well out in Tango Verde Valley.
Boom. There's another what? 200,000, 300,000?
Yeah, 150.
Close enough.
Another deal.
Another deal. So the mindset behind what we, and Mondays are always our mindset calls. We start off with some mindset, then we jump into scripting, but the mindset behind what we are doing is most important. I don't care if I give you the golden words, literally the words that will change tides. If you don't project them with the energy that is needed, you'll never resonate the response you need. Even the simple term of good morning. If you say it, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Different energies, different levels, different mindsets behind it, elicit a different response to somebody. And we say it a lot. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of that goes into what your mind is thinking, what's going on in your brain. What choice did you make this morning when you woke up? Anyone ever heard that term, woke up on the wrong side of the bed?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that's possible. I don't. Because when you wake up, you're usually on the top of the bed. That's the right side of the bed. If you wake up under the bed, then you probably didn't sleep on it. My party people out there know what I'm talking about. So when someone says, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, no, what they did is they chose to let how their morning started run their day. They made the conscious decision in that moment to say that, you know what? I'm going to give the rest of the day away because how it started. How many times have we done that in our lives? A few times. So in real estate, it's very easy to take a bad morning, turn it into a bad day, have a bad week, and all of a sudden you're 8, 9, 10 days into a bad run and things aren't going your way. And next thing you know it, you're out of the business in 6 months because you haven't done anything. It all starts with our mindset some morning. Our mindset in the morning dictates how our days go. Happiness is a default. We choose otherwise. So, what are your choices? What are you making? Physically speaking, the only thing that can keep us from being happy in the moment, in the present, is physical pain, because it triggers your brain to focus on the pain and not your environment. Otherwise, if you focus on the moment, what's on the here and now, not what you have done, not what you're going to do, not what you have to do, what you didn't do, all the things is your conscious choice. We focus on the here and now, and we are in present moment. Our brains are naturally defaulted to happiness. Happiness is actually not an emotion. It's the lack thereof. This is the default. We're happy. We're in a state of grace. So if you find yourself in a spiral, you're doing your lead generation, you're like, this isn't getting anywhere. I'm not talking to anybody. I haven't set any appointments. I haven't done anything, productive. Take a check on your mindset. Step back and look at, okay, what am I putting out there? What am I projecting? What energies am I putting into these phone calls? And I bet you can see that the phone calls are lackadaisical. Maybe you are not in the right mindset to make phone calls. And then all of a sudden you've done 15 or 20 calls and you're like, just not feeling it. You want to know something? Everybody you talk to just wasn't feeling it either. Has there been a morning that you and I have been on scripts together where I wasn't feeling it? Right? You could tell that I just kind of phoned it in. I just showed up and made it happen. I'm just like, hey guys, what are we going to talk about? Okay. Yeah, scripts, those are important. No, I show up every day, right? Just like I ask you to show up every day. So when you're making your phone calls, you're doing your lead generator, you're door knocking, you're doing open houses, you're making flyers, you're talking to people on the street, you're handing out business cards, you're making friends, period. Show up. Be present. Be in the moment. Don't worry about what you have to do next or what you didn't do earlier. Focus on the task at hand. So making the phone calls, be present on the phone. Make a phone call. Hey, Kelly, how's your mom? How's your family? How are things going? Listen, because you're going to hear something that's important. Take the time that you have with that person and create a better relationship. Real estate will follow. So, how can we make sure we have more relationships in real estate? Talk to more people? You want to know the number one thing I hear from newer agents? I don't have that many people to talk to. Well, I call bullshit. Absolutely. There is no reason that you don't have more people to talk to. Because you're a social creature. Unless you're hiding in your bunker, not leaving in the world at all, then you're probably not going to have anyone to talk to. Let me ask a hypothetical. A show of hands. If you don't have your cameras on, it's going to be very hard to see your vote. Raise your hand if you'd like to start a conversation with somebody that you can see. Like right in front of you, right? Okay, great. Majority. All right, now raise your hand if you'd like to start a conversation with somebody that sends a message to you at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right? We as human beings would rather talk to people that we can see. We start a conversation with somebody that we can talk to in front of us, right? Versus somebody that sends a message at 3 o'clock in the morning. What am I talking about? I'm talking about prospecting, going out and finding people to talk to versus marketing, waiting for leads to come in so you can talk to them. One's a whole lot easier, a ton easier, because you just sit back and you wait for stuff to come in. And then you may or may not get a hold of them. You may or may not talk to the right person. You may or may not have, a potential buyer or seller on your hand. But if you've got a client that's looking for a house in a neighborhood, and you go knock on some doors and you got somebody that opens the door and talks to you face to face, the odds of connecting with that person just skyrocketed because they answered the door. So if we're having a hard time getting a hold of people to talk to, change up your avenues. Don't rely on lists of people to call. Rely on your natural born ability to connect with people. And it's as simple as saying 2 letters. Hi. But if you're not in the right state of mind to do so, you're going to get the, so, you know what I'm talking about? Who's ever gotten that? So, Stormy's like, yeah, I do it to people all the time. So, I have never seen Stormy not tell someone good morning excitedly. The man's like a puppy dog. He loves to see people, and they feel that energy. He's excitable, right? He's trustworthy. He's open. He's got good energy. He attracts people to him. So, what are you doing when you talk to people? Are you excited to hear from them? Are you excited to connect with them? The mindset behind what we do is super important. And then the second part of it is ask good questions. Find out the sublying information. What's important about that? Like Mara said, she went door knocking. Guy said, I've lived here for 30 years and I've been thinking about a new build. Boom. That right there is a red flag to me. Like, hey, talk more, jump into it. But they're just so expensive. Well, you're absolutely right. What's he comparing it to?
30 years ago.
30 years ago. What did he buy his house for?
Because he told me too. I didn't even ask.
$25,000?
2,000 square feet. He said, oh, I paid about 130 for this. Those new builds are around 400.
Yeah, he could sell his house for around 400. Probably 3 and a change, and still buy the new house for the same delta. Right? That would be a really good follow-up conversation.
Yeah,
Hey.
because he was a talker. You know, some people just won't talk to you, but he just started in.
But if
They're the best people.
they're the best. Oh my God, they're the best.
Exactly.
If you have the ability to make a connection with people, let it run. You're going to get some good information. Some people are just desperate for human contact and they'll talk your ear off. But in situations like that, agree with them. Oh, they're too expensive. You're absolutely right. But then in your mind, ask, okay, where is this person coming from? What mindset are they coming from? Well, yeah, he bought the house 30 years ago. Has he done real estate transactions since then? No. 30 years ago, what was the interest rate?
High.
20%?
10%.
Yeah, massive. His $130,000 house cost him probably $900 a month. Now he can sell it, move the money into a new build, and pay less than that per month. Understanding where people are coming from helps you to relate to them better, so you can understand their mindset. Someone says, you know what? Yeah, we know it's a great time to sell, but right now it's scary because we can't find somewhere else to live. I can understand that. And that's exactly why myself and my team are out here doing this. We're out here knocking on doors, finding people that are looking to sell their house because we are playing the real estate matchmaking game. People laugh when you say stuff like that. We're out here dating for houses, right? You want to sell, they want to buy, boom, match made. Keller Williams has been successful in all of their industries for the one simple premise that we believe in the idea of abundance. There's enough business to go around. Why is there enough business to go around? Right? Let me ask you, anyone, why do you think that we think there's enough business to go around?
Because we're working hard to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm going to shorten that down because we make it happen. We make it happen. Sunshine, you've been with us for what, 2 weeks now, maybe 3?
Yes.
And in the prior 6 months that you were licensed, did you hear a company talk nearly as much about going out and finding business and creating opportunities than you
No.
have in this 2 weeks?
No.
There's something to it. If I tell you that go knock on the red door, meet Hank, Hank will give you all the secrets to the neighborhood, what's going to stop you from talking to Hank?
Nothing.
Nothing. Do you know how I know Hank's the guy behind the red door? because I knocked on every door up until his. There's a great thing David Jones used to talk about. He was on an airplane ride out of Tucson. You know, you take off at Tucson International. Anyone else flown out of Tucson? You know how it banks over the city? And you get to see that neighborhood right next to the airport, and then you fly over the east side. You can see all those neighborhoods down there. Well, when you look out the window, if you look carefully, he tells his friend, he's like, if you look carefully, you can see which houses are ready to be sold, which clients are ready to sell their house. And Mike looks out the window very intently, and he just stares, and he just in awe and wonder. He goes, I don't see it, David. How can you tell? They all look the same to me. And David smiles, nodding, accepting that Michael had finally figured it out. He's like, you're right. You can't tell. That's why you got to talk to them all. Everybody in your phone is in your phone for a reason. One reason or another. It could just be a mistake, and that itself is a reason. So have you talked to everybody in your phone? Let's start with that. Well, he's only 16 or 17 or 18, and he's my high school friend. He's got a parent, maybe even 2 of them. Hell, if he's lucky, he's got 3. Right? Get uncomfortable asking those questions. Who do you know that could benefit by me talking to them about real estate? Who do you know that I can talk to about buying or selling a home? Who do you know that I can talk to about investing in real estate? Who do you know that I can help? Most people are going to throw up a smoke screen. What's that smoke screen? I don't know. Well, no one right now. No one? There is nobody that you know that that could benefit from knowing me. Start asking these questions. You'll uncover some things. Who do you know that I can talk to about real estate? If you don't know who your neighbors are, start there. If they're not in your phone, start there. You'll be surprised at how giving your neighbors are, especially when they know that you have created a community around them. My neighbors across the street is the first time in my life I've ever had a relationship with a neighbor and their kid. And our kids literally run back and forth between the houses. It's 5:30 yesterday. I'm sitting on the couch right before dinner's ready, and Clark, the little 6-year-old from across the street, comes sprinting in my front door, slams the door behind him and locks it. And he's like panting, like frantically panting. His 9-year-old brother, Corbin, who's my nephew's best friend, is chasing him across the street with a water gun. So Clark hides in my house to avoid his brother. Now, if I don't know his parents, shame on me, right? Well, I happen to know his parents very well. Carrie, one of my team members 2 years ago, sold her house. Well, sold her that house. And we became friends. That team member got out of the business. And since then, Carrie has given me no less than 9 or 10 leads from her work, from her boyfriend's work, from other people she's talked to. Just because Carrie knows that I give a damn about her and her family beyond real estate. Hey, Carrie, there was a weird white truck parked out of your house all day. Did your brother get a new truck? Oh no, it's a rental. Okay. Hey, Dan, there was somebody parked out front of your house and they knocked on your door. I didn't see who they were, but I took a picture of the vehicle for you. You create community. You create a relationship where you guys are looking after each other. Now Carrie's in my database. Her husband, Jose, is in my database. I know her kids, all 3 of them, their names. We talk to them all the time, right? Now when I call up Carrie and say, hey, Carrie, I'm really struggling to find something. I need somebody to talk to about real estate. Who do you know? Carrie no longer gives me the smokescreen of, oh, I don't know, Carrie thinks about it. She's all, actually, Mary at work was talking about buying a house. Usually you'll have neighbors on all sides of your house. Do you guys think about where your back wall is, the neighbor behind you? We rarely ever talk to because it's on the other street. When you come knocking on their door and say, hey, I live behind you. My name's Kelly. Nice to meet you. I'd like to know who you are. Here's your script. It's important for me to know my community. I'm in real estate, so ever if you need anything, and it doesn't have to be real estate related, I'd hope that you give me a call. I think it's important for our neighbors to know each other. Here's my contact information. Do you mind if I have yours? Was that conversation about real estate? No. Is it hard to have that conversation? No. The hardest thing is getting up out of your front door and going to do it. So I challenge you all today, if you do not know your neighbors, go meet them. You want an exercise in door knocking? Go knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, neighbor, I'm the crazy guy with the red truck. I'm the one with the kid that runs around naked. Yeah, my 3-year-old won't put pants on. He'll run outside, stark ass naked. And you'll see me
My
chasing him down.
16-year-old does that.
Even better. I'm the one with the 16-year-old that probably gonna, scare somebody one day. A little story before we go. One of my agents, her husband are a team, Laura, their neighbor, they moved to a neighborhood in Salrita, Green Valley, like right in the cusp of it. Their neighbors listed their house with a competitor. And I asked her what changed. And her neighbors did not know she was in real estate. There's 90 people or something in that in her neighborhood, 90 people. And they didn't know she was in real estate. So I said, shame on you. We're talking next door, like throw a stone, hit the house next door neighbor. So I challenged her. I was like, okay, how can your neighborhood identify you quickly? She's like, oh, our dog's always getting out. And he goes and visits other houses. I was like, great. Why don't you make a little flyer introducing yourself and your dog so people know who you are? She made a flyer, a little 3-fold flyer that says, this is about me and real estate. This is my family. And this is my dog, Wesley. We belong to him. If you see him out, please give us a call. Made a connection, made friends. Now her neighborhood knows not only her family, her dog, but also knows she's in real estate. So take the time to introduce yourself to your neighbors and your community. And even if you live in Marana or in Vail and there's a 1.5 miles between you and the next neighbor, get in your car and drive over there, say hi. Go to your aunt's house and knock on their neighborhood doors. Go to your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, anyone that's important to you that you're going to be around, go meet their neighbors. We go out and find business because the stuff that finds you is the stuff we passed on. There's a reason Larry's got multi-million-dollar deals going down. It's years of following up with people, making connections, making friends, making relationships happen.
And by the way, that letter that I showed you, remember that thing you looked at on the computer at the?
Yeah.
She actually referenced that in her decision to use me as opposed to another real estate agent.
Because you're willing to put in the extra effort. You were willing to do what others weren't. We talk about that. If you're willing to do what others aren't, you're going to get further than they will. Just like this morning, guys, you're willing to jump on a call at 8 a.m., get uncomfortable, talk about mindset, talk about scripting, talk about things that may not be naturally, in your periphery. And look what it does to your success. It makes you more comfortable asking questions. So ask good questions and find people to talk to. That's your challenge for today. What is my mindset around lead generation? What is my mindset around door knocking? What is my mindset around cold calling? What is my mindset around follow-up? What is my mindset around leads? And if you're real with yourself that you can uncover those truths, do you believe you'll be able to be more successful in those 5 realms? I bring this up all the time because it makes me laugh. I got Mara to dance. So and her business has been happy ever since. Nothing that I did. I just got her to ask those questions to herself. So success is waiting for you to go find it. Go find it.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I gotta claim the host now so I can kick you all out of here.
Thank you.
Best part of my morning is I get to eject everybody like 3, 2,